like to address attacks that were made to the campaign. I would like to say that as a president, I can survive such public criticism because during this week of campaigning, I was personally and politically attacked with lies for the purpose of misleading the voters being you guys, and I do not want to be misled. Rumors were spread that are in no way relevant to this campaign and were completely uncalled for. A student at the school decided to use inappropriate slander against me, and I looked down upon a campaign that resorts to such attacks and that could last past this election and hurt me as an individual. However, I'm still here and standing strong because I disregard their comments and put this election with highest priority so that I can fulfill my duties as president to represent you. I was also attacked politically, as you witnessed yesterday, and by biased reporter Simon Yu. We have been compared to George Bush and Sarah Palin. Such accusations were utterly false. The only similarity I have with Sarah Palin is that we have a common name. As to the reference to George Bush, I should accuse them of being more like his administration. Our campaign is in fact a response to the disaster caused by his administration. Our policy is a complete turnaround. Would George Bush ever consider a national healthcare option or open borders? Not in his life. The Gorman political ideas are in fact closer to those of George Bush than ours are, against the allowance of people to come into this wonderful country and against national health care.
As the Vice President, I'd like to clarify some things as well. Yesterday, if you were to read the new article on Simon Yu's webpage, it states that she is a monarchist, just like it said in her little biography, which is really biased because he endorsed specifically the Gorman campaign. Therefore, he is not an unbiased source, unlike our friend here, Matt Dykman, who's
I endorsed you.
You endorsed us, but not through a lot more intellectual.
Through the editorial,
right.
the news article is.
What you know about his campaign, about the Gorman campaign, is that they're all debaters, they're all very tight knit, which is a very good thing, especially because John Cruz is a very prominent leader of the debating force. But the only thing with that is that they tend to stick to each other, not have unbiased opinions about their own campaigns, such as Simon Yu. This whole article, as you can obviously see, was trying to get you to believe that their cause was the right one through his own means, which were completely incorrect and completely biased.
Yes, of course, I am willing to be attacked with political criticism, but I would just like to point out that these were lies that were made, and I don't want you to be misled. Now, I'd also like to speak about our campaign. This election is not about cookies, kisses, or brownies. It's also not about Pasik or Gorman. It's only about the issues that are facing America and that can make the difference between this country's success and the prosperity of its citizens, or the fall of our nation into the chasm of greed and division. During the past decade, America's rich have become richer, the poor have become poorer, and the middle class struggles. During the past decade, the oil companies have become richer. Hostile nations with oil reserves have become empowered. Our environment has been increasingly polluted by fossil fuels. And American economy has suffered due to erratic oil markets. During the past decade, pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies have thrived at the expense of both the sick and the doctors. During the past decade, fear has been used by our government to persuade our citizens to give up their basic civil liberties. What will we be fighting for if our own government is as corrupt as our enemies? We are the party of progress. The next decade, the next century will be the century that we can choose to change our country's spiral into decline, into the rise into prosperity. In the next century, we will spearhead the development of alternative zero-emission energy technologies that will provide millions of middle-class jobs for Americans, eliminate our dependence on foreign oil companies, and once and for all, provide our citizens and the citizens of the world with cheap energy that doesn't pollute the planet. In the next century, we will create a healthcare infrastructure that will provide high-quality healthcare to all citizens, reduce overall healthcare costs, and reward doctors for providing that high-quality healthcare. We will take the insurance companies and lawyers out of the healthcare equation completely. In the next century, we will restore the core American values of the Bill of Rights and make sure our citizens not only live We are the party of progress. Honor me and my running mate, Daniel Shpoyansky, with your vote of confidence. Together, we can put America back on the right course. After a decade in which America has deteriorated in its quality of life for its citizens and its standing in the world community, America needs change, dramatic change. It is not sufficient to make incremental tweaks to the government that has failed. America needs dramatic change. We need to completely reform how our citizens stay healthy and how our doctors practice medicine for the good of their patients rather than feeding the profits of insurance companies. America needs dramatic change. We need to eliminate the use of fossil fuels to clean our air, to stimulate our economy, and to bring lasting world peace. America needs dramatic change. America needs to break the bonds of fear that have come close to enslaving our citizens and recapture the freedom that we are supposed to be fighting for. America needs dramatic change. America needs the party of progress. Thank you.